You never went to college, did you?
Nope.
All this talk about free college, and you can't make it unless you went to college. How far in high school did you go?
Finished in ninth grade.
Ninth grade?
Yeah.
Then what happened?
Little bit of job here. I started buying and selling stuff. Basically educated myself. And then I'd always been buying and selling stuff. My dad had a little coin shop, and I wanted a pawn shop. So I went down to City Hall, and they told me, no, you can't get a pawn shop.
In Las Vegas?
In Las Vegas. And I asked them why, and they pulled out the city code. And apparently what happened in 1955, the good old boys got together, and they passed a city ordinance that when the city population got to 250,000, they would issue one more pawn license. When they made this law, there's only 25,000 people living in Vegas. They thought it was never going to happen. So I'm 22 years old, and pawn license, if someone has one for sale, back then it was 500,000, 700,000, something like that. And I definitely couldn't afford that. So once I read this law, I'm going, it's got to be close to that now for the city proper there. So I started calling the city statistician once a week. And then in April of '88, he said, yeah, we think it's 250,000. So, I'm no longer a naive 22-year-old. I'm a naive 23-year-old. I go down to city business license. It's 250,000. I want my license. They didn't give it to me, but 6 months later, a judge said he was the first one there, give him the license.
You had to go to court to get a license to open a store.
Yes. And the rest is sort of history.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the history. So you finished the ninth grade.
Yeah.
And you're self-educated.
Yeah.
You read.
Yeah.
What did you read?
It'll go back to when I was a kid. I was a really sick kid. I developed epilepsy when I was 8 years old, and I'd have violent seizures, and I would literally I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't walk. Sometimes I couldn't walk for a week or two. And my mom went to the library. We were lower middle income. My dad was in the Navy. He was in Vietnam. My mom's trying to sell real estate on the side. We didn't have a lot of money.
And you were in San Diego back then.
Yeah, San Diego. And, this is 1973. There was no cable. There's no kids programming on television. And we definitely didn't have the money for more than one TV in the house. So my mom went and got me a set of books that was sort of kismet. This really changed my life. She went to the library, and it was John D. Fitzgerald's The Great Brain. It was about an 8-year-old kid growing up in Utah in the 1890s, coming up with all these little schemes to make money. And I just devoured the books. I think there was 8 books in the series. I read them in a week or two. And I just fell in love with reading ever since then. I was 12 years old. I was going to the library and checking out books on physics.
So you're self-educated mostly through books that you've read on your own.
Yeah.
And so when we watch you on your show, Pawn Stars, and you see things come in, and you know a little bit of the background, the stuff that you've read in the past kind of clicks in.
Yeah, it's because I don't really get into fiction. Mm-hmm. It's always been science books. It's been history books. One of the jokes I tell is I read the history of batteries twice. I found it so fascinating. And to this day, I still read things like that. And it's once you develop a really diverse, knowledge in your head, you can, when you see something, you can...
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Thank you so much for subscribing and watching our videos. We are so much pleased to have you, our dear viewers. We are bringing you the saddest news of porn star Ricky Harrison's son, Adam Harrison, who is dead at the age of 39 after the overdose. The Harrison family tells us that our family is extremely saddened by the death of Adam. We ask for privacy as we grieve his loss. Ricky Harrison's son, Adam, has died under tragic circumstances. We have learned. A rep for the porn star, a reality star, tells us Adam recently died from a fatal overdose, and we are told the family only just found out today. At this time, it's unclear where Adam was exactly when he passed, and the specific circumstances are also unknown at this particular point in time. Adam is one of the richest 3 kids, old boys, and he is been mostly of the radar in the terms of Ricky's show and store. What is Adam helped out at the world famous gold and silver pawn shop once upon a time, but has since stepped away to do his own things. He doesn't appear to have been featured in any of the episodes from what we can see. Ricky had 2 kids with his first wife Kim Corey and Adam, and he also had a son Jake with his second wife Tracy. While Ricky's oldest son Corey is heavily involved in Pawn Star, first appeared in the reality show way back in 2009, Adam mostly remained out of the spotlight, with Adam never really getting involved on the show. There is not a lot of known about him, though some folks have claimed he made a living as a plumber. We have heard he worked professionally in some kind of trade, but no word on what kind of job specifically. We shall be bringing you more of this story, because we are sure of getting more of the information as it comes. Please keep on watching our videos and subscribing for more of the content. We are in position to give you more of the details. We are so sorry about the loss of the son. We know how it pains to lose a son, especially at that point of age where you are expecting grandchildren from him and a lot from him, and more especially a heir. We are also devastated about the loss, and we are praying for him to be strong throughout this trying periods. Also to the family at large, the rest of the brothers and mother, and the father Harrison himself. May his soul rest in eternal peace. We shall be bringing you more of the following of the stories. Thank you so much for watching up to this far.